Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I'd like to introduce you to Giovanni Del Moral, the winner of Yu-Gi-Oh!Overdose's second Dueling Network tournament. Giovanni, why don't you say hello to everybody?
What's up, everyone?
So Giovanni, have you ever played in any online sort of cash tournaments before, or anything like that?
No, I actually haven't, and I never really played for cash before. I try to stay away from playing for money in general.
What changed your mind this time?
No, I mean this time was fine. Like I really had nothing to do, so I was like, I might as well enter.
Okay,
And I knew the first one was ran well, so I mean, well,
okay. Did have you ever I don't know, top the regionals or enter YCS or anything like that?
well, I mostly done everything in 2012. I just started playing competitively about a year and a half ago. So I went to YCS Philly, YCS Rhode Island. Both of them I started 6-2, lost round nine, so I missed day two. I think I went to 4 or 5 regionals. I top eighted two of them. One with windups, one with injectors, and then two of them I started 6-0 and lost the last 2 rounds because I mean game three set, whatever.
Happens.
Yeah, pretty disappointing.
Okay. Well, what I want to do now, or what I want to do over the course of this video, is I want to talk about your general tournament experience, which is I'm gonna talk about the rounds, or I want us to talk about the rounds, and also the fact that you were playing online. I want to focus on that a little bit, but towards the end, and that's really the more important thing, I want to talk about your deck and your deck choices. So let's just get right into it. Is there anything you want to say about your rounds and your matches? Anything notable, not notable?
um, well, a lot of rounds went to game three. It was pretty difficult at times. There were good players I faced, even some not under their real name. But yeah, first round against Anti-Meta was, I mean, we went to game three because like BLS was literally his win condition. So you beat me game two, game three. Like, I mean, you can't play decks like that anymore because Fire Fist will just beat it. Because Barrel just pop everything. Like I was actually surprised by the amount of people playing Gear because I used to play Gear like this past month, but I sold my deck because I knew Fire Fist was coming. And like they're just gonna pop armor all day. I mean, I couldn't do that when I lost to Gear, but I mean, you can't get it all the time. So,
Okay.
and then round two, I versed Dark World Turbo, and that was pretty annoying. I won game one. Game two, he used Eradicator Epidemic Virus twice in one turn. So called spells and traps, and then drag down 3 times in the same turn. It was like really terrible, using like advanced draw and like all this stuff to like draw cards. And game three, he just drew like, I mean, Dark OP itself. So then round three, I versed. So I took my first loss in game one. The open gear frame, I had a Veiler, but I chose not to Veiler because I wasn't really expecting to call the Haunted later in the game. Like I'm not familiar with them using Call the Haunted in gear gives. Because I actually, he opened 4 back row gear frame. I had a heavy in Solemn Warning, so I figured I could set Solemn Warning heavy and try to set it up. But then, like, next turn, he summoned the Fortress. I had nothing in my hand big enough to kill it, so I had to use the Warning. Then I used Judgment, but then, like, when I set the Judgment for the heavy storm setup, he end-phased MST, so that kind of ruined my plan. And I learned that I should pretty much Veiler gear frame first turn units against gear use, so.
That's the
Then
right play.
game two, he used trap stun on me and I lost. I mean, it was getting out of hand. He set all his armors. I had 4 back row, but it was like 2 mirror forces, which I mean, not gonna do much against Gear. So. And then round four, I played Joshua again with windups. Game one, he opened Tour Guy and I Veilered him, but then later in the game, he had a Monster Reborn that was pretty clutch and allowed him to go Dues and Mighty Magician, Sharp with stuff, and I lost. Game two, I mean, Rivalry of the Warlords is too good. Game three, yeah, he opens them, I read him, like I'm like, that guy doesn't have Factory, and he sets 2. I summoned Horse Raider. He goes bomb with Avalanche, okay? So, and I have DDV in hand, so man, I had to, and I had Tenki, so increase the attack. But yeah, I took that. I mean, the thing is, like, when I use DDV, the first turn I hit a monster, next two turns he draws like messenger piece and something else. I'm like, really? Like, I mean, my DV didn't do much. And then the fourth turn he drew into Wine the Magician, which helped with the rabbit. He still had in the field, but eventually I won the game. Round 5 versus Mermail. And that was the only Mermail match of the tournament. That was pretty back and forth. Game 1 I won because I had 2 solemn warnings, which shut down his Abyss Pipe, which is pretty big. Game 2, he just beat me. Game 3, same thing. I opened Solemn Warning set, which Solemn Warning pretty much hurts them with their opening play if you're going first. So that helped me win that game.
Can I stop you for a second?
Yeah.
Just a quick question. I'm noticing, like you said in the beginning, that a lot of your games did go to game 3. I guess I should have asked this in the beginning. You ran Fire Fist for this tournament. If you could go back and do it again, not knowing that you would be in first, but just knowing how these matches now go, would you run Fire Fist again?
Oh no, yeah, I definitely would. I mean, I forgot to mention before, as I told you, I mean, out of the 9 rounds I played, I only went first 2 or 3 times, so that kind of contributed to me going to game 3 a couple of times. So it was pretty difficult. And I mean, no, I would definitely still use the deck. The only problem with the deck sometimes is you'll draw too many monsters, but I mean, they're big monsters, so if your opponent opens a passive hand and you have like these big beaters in your hand, then like you're just gonna beat them pretty quick because they're gonna be Solemn Warning. They're gonna be using Solemn Warning on Werewolves. You know, like they're just gonna lose pretty quick.
Okay. That's okay.
I'm back.
All right. So, all right, let's just go on. Keep going with your rounds. Tell us more about them.
Okay. Oh yeah, round 6, the easiest one today. I was versing Dino Rabbit, which I mean, for Fire Fist, it should be an easy matchup. I mean, of course, he went first. And this is when I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you about the hand traps later, but the hand traps are pretty much awesome today. Like he opened Rabbit. I mean, I had Valor. He sets 1, which is Warning. I go MS2, then I have Bear, so I have 1 from there. And game 2, I don't know, it just ended quick. I don't remember how, but that was my quickest match of the day. So, and then I mean, I knew I had to win because I wasn't not all the X2s are guaranteed to make top 8. So I was pretty relieved when I beat them pretty quick. So, and then reaching top 8, I versed George Carver with Fire Fist, and I don't remember if I 2-0'd him or if I went to 3 games. I really don't remember. But like sometimes, same with that in the finals. Like sometimes their deck was just too slow, or they didn't draw the back row they needed. Because with the builds they were using, they play a lot of back row. If you don't open like with a bunch of back row and like a good monster, then you're probably gonna lose. Because at least like with me, like I know I play Rabbit too, but Tour Guy definitely helped a lot with like top decking wise, or like for me to make a comeback or to get over a big monster. So, and a couple of times I went to Zen mains and like that helped a lot. So then top 4 I versed Brandon the windup, and I have to tell you right now that was the first time I really, to be honest, I think that was the first time I really sacked someone like the entire tournament. Like it was pretty bad. Like he towards the end of game 2 I'm pretty sure I lost, but then like he summons Rat and I have Maxi. I activate Maxi. The next card he draws Valor, so I'm able to Valor the shark he brings back, so he can't go into a rank 3 and attack over Bear for games. I only had, I think, like, I don't know, under 1,000 left.
That was your feature match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I remember seeing that. You maxied and then you drew into the Valor. It was your only out.
I mean,
that was crazy.
I know it's sad, but I had 3 Valors left in the deck, and I also had 3 rivalries left in the deck. Like, I mean, you're gonna draw something eventually, so
it's okay.
Yeah, and I also remember that same game when he had Thunder King, and I had to compulse it to return it to his hand to activate Tenki because I was going really minus, but then I top deck Rabbit to summon 2 Warwolves and it got over to Thunder King, so that helped a lot too. So then the finals. I know game 1 went quick. I'm not sure if the Cowboy play was in around top 4 or finals. But I know I just activated Tension and just started summoning normals and went for game. Game two, he beat me. Game three, I think he drew bad, but I mean, I opened, I think, five monsters in a 10 key. Or maybe I had MST also, I don't remember, but so I had a feeling, I know it was a tournament because I opened pretty bad, but I mean, his hand wasn't that good either, so my monsters are bigger, and I was just able to beat him eventually, so
S-
that's pretty
sounds
much it.
sounds like a story of a champion. It's all
Yeah.
good. All right. Well, let me say this: if everyone in the world was running Fire Fists, do you think Machina is the deck to use?
Oh, I mean, not at all. I mean, three people use the same gear gear then. I mean, I don't know why, but I mean, they just really want to beat windups. But I'm not sure what they lost to, but I think they just ran to like Dark World and Mermills and stuff. I don't really know. But
Okay.
yeah, I personally wouldn't use gear gear anymore. That's why I sold the deck. I mean, I was using lineups this format until about like December, and I switched to gear gear, and I sold the deck because I mean, even if it's good or bad players, like a lot of people are going to be using Fire Fist, and they're like, I mean, Fire Fist. I'll be honest, like it's an easy deck to use. Like it's not anything complicated. You just do like I mean, obviously there's going to be some skill involved, like with Rabbit, there's going to be some skill involved, but it's pretty easy to use.
Oh,
Definitely compared to windups. Like when I was using windups, I was actually stressed out when I played the deck. Like it was too much.
I get it.
So
It's a lot of those whoosh
yeah,
moments. Yeah.
it's too much work to just play Yu-Gi-Oh. Like playing
Oh,
windups.
okay. All right. Well, let's now just turn our attention away. Actually, no. Before we move on to your deck, let me get your 2 cents on the general experience of playing online, and in particular, playing online on a Sunday all day, but ultimately winning. How much did you win?
$225.
All right.
So,
How? That's another important question. How long after? I should have asked this in the beginning. How long after the tournament did it take you to get paid?
I mean, as soon as my opponent admitted defeat in the finals, it was like right after. So
Okay,
it was really quick. I mean, I get the notifications to my phone, so I was like, oh, I got money. Really quick.
that's what's up.
So,
All right. Uh, okay. So, but yeah, no. I mean, just tell me what your 2 cents. Do you think this was? Would you have rather gone to, for example, a local tournament and sat down next to some smelly people and played for packs or something, or would you rather just done this?
this was definitely better because a lot of times, like I mean, I had a lot of breaks, so I was doing other stuff at home while I was on my computer and stuff. So it was really convenient for me. And I'm used to playing on Dueling Network since like last format. As I told you before, like I mean, I was ranked number one on Dueling Network with an 1800 rating. I know that people like they say Dueling Network doesn't matter much, but I'll tell you right now, like anyone who has over like 16, 1700, they are really good players. I've met like a lot of very good like it's mostly international players who will play on Dueling Network. American players are kind of they're they're too like ignorant to play on it. Like they'll just get tired of like all the bad opponents to be like, I can't do this anymore. I mean, that's how I am now. Like I can't do it anymore. Like it's too much. But like last format, like that's what I was doing, and it definitely helped me a lot. So, but yeah, since I was used to playing on Dueling Network, like it was amazing. Like I never had any problems. Like I never had like one ruling issue. I mean, I think it has to do with like most of the players in the tourney. Like it was a really good field, so everyone knew like what they were doing. The only thing that happened when I was versing Josh, like it was a ruling I wasn't aware of, is when he goes magician, he reveals shark, and I activate rivalry, like does shark go to the grave or does it stay in hand? And I had like conflicting views on it, but one of his other duelist ground people like told me like it would stay in hand, so I just went with it. Like I wasn't gonna argue, so and that's pretty much it. I never had to call an admin or anything. So
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Uh,
yeah.
okay, so let's jump over to your deck. Again, obviously you ran Fire Fists, but I think there were 8 decks out of the 47 decks, or eight players in this tournament out of the 47 players that ran Fire Fist. I believe yours was the most unique build, uh, and that's because for a Fire Fist deck, um, you only ran 4 Fire Fist monsters, right? That was right. Am I? Oh,
Yep,
let me
to
pull
be
it up.
honest, there is the only good Fire Fist right now. I don't feel like any of the other ones are worth playing. So, and yeah, I definitely made this build myself. Originally, I was using a build like Fred Douglas is using or George Carver, but I just found that at times is like when that deck can't really top deck or like it can't really come back from and it relies too much on fire formations. Like Dragon is really good because you could go +1 and +1 again on your turn. But I mean, then again, you need Dragon to be on the field, and you need a fire formation card, like also. So like, I just saw it as not as. I mean, it did well for them, so I mean, I can't really put it down. You know, I mean, 2 of them made the top 8. So, but yeah, definitely. I mean, to be honest, I hate Gorilla too, but I needed to play 1 just in case. Like against Josh, he had messaged you a piece one time, and I searched for a Gorilla. Yeah, that didn't last too long. So but yeah, just Bear, like, overall as a card is just really good because it reminds me of Spear Reaper where, like, if they have a direct, like, if they have no monsters on their field, you're going to get a +1 right there and get your whole deck going, like, right there. Like, with Gorilla, with Dragon, with everything else, like, they're not standalone cards. Like, you can't get a great effect like that. I mean, Gorilla can attack over a monster, but it's only 1600. Like, it's not going to get over much. So.
Okay. I'll tell you 2 things. The first is I mean, you don't know it yet because I haven't uploaded it yet. But during my while I was doing the commentary for your feature match, we Anthony Alvarado was the guest commentator there, and we were going back and forth looking at the 2 deck lists, and I said, you know, Anthony, these 2 deck lists, like the first one, your opponent's, was the sort of deck list, the sort of Fire Fist list that I made when I first heard about them a while ago. And then we talked. He's like, yeah, you know, this looks almost exactly like what you think a Fire Fist deck would look like. But then we looked over to yours and we said, you know, there's when you look at the fact that he only ran 1 of the Breaker guy and like he's not running 3 of the double summon card. I don't know the names by heart. I know what they do.
Yeah, it's Tensu.
Tensu. If
Yeah.
you run 2 of these, it just seemed to us that you were more comfortable with this build. Like it was more unique. It was more tailored to your own what you like and what you don't like. And I just wanted to say on the outset that like going into that match, my teammate and I both had a favorable opinion of you in that respect. That you went with what you were comfortable with, or at least it seemed to us that way.
Yeah.
The second thing is wait a second. There was a second thing. Well, forget whatever the second thing was. I do know that there's another thing I wanted to ask you, and that's why didn't you run Abyss Dweller?
Oh, well, this is gonna sound funny. I actually forgot to put it in. Like when I sent you the deck list, I was like, oh, I forgot this dweller. I'm gonna lose against Mermills, you know. But I mean, since I run tour guide, also I didn't really have much space. I mean, I could have dropped maybe like Roach or Utopia or something like that, or Acid Golem. But I mean, even like when I was watching like Fred Douglas's feature match, like I just commented on it, like I mean, he kept going into Dweller, but like every time he going into Dweller, he was really going minus. Like he was using 2 monsters, he was going to Dweller, and if you look at Mermills, they have so many outs to Dweller. Especially since it's only 1700 attack. Like you have 3 Abyss Sphere, 3 Megalo, 3 Diva, like even 3 Dragoons, like at 1800, like it'll get over the Abyss Dweller. Like unless you have like a lot of protection in Dweller, like really isn't. I mean, I would definitely play 1, but I mean, they really went overboard playing 2 or 3. So I think it could have helped if he didn't try going to Dweller every time. Like instead of going to Tiger King or something else, like he could have beat Stefan. I think it was like round 4. It was on the feature matches, so.
Oh, I was like,
Yeah.
how do you know?
I watched the video.
Okay. All right. Well, looking at the rest of the list, I noticed that. Well, I noticed 2 things. The first was that you opted to side deck DDV, and the second thing is that you main decked 2 Valor and Maxi. I want to know why you did both of those things and how it worked out for you. poof, I made Giovanni disappear.
Well, hand traps. Well, originally I was gonna try playing Fiendish Chain, like the other guys did, playing 2 Fiendish Chain, maybe another trap. But a lot of the OCG builds for Fire Fist, even the Rabbit build, even like the newer builds, like the Chicken build and the Wolfberg Rank 4 spam build, like they all main Veilers, and like why do they main Veiler for? But Veiler just works really good, like especially if you just have like a big monster and feel like a Warwolf or something, and like if you have Veiler, like they can't really do anything to get over it. I mean, unless like they go Rabbit, you stop it. They go into Tour Guide, they stop it. You go into, I mean, anything else really, like Warwolf is just really big. All your other monsters are pretty big, and like just Veiler, especially going second, like Veiler was really big for me. Like Max C, I'm probably gonna switch with the third Veiler in the side deck, which I actually did already. So because I mean, even when I was nursing it was either top 8 or the finals, like I had a Max C in my hand, and I immediately said to myself, if that was a Veiler, I won this game automatically. I mean, I won anyway, but I knew like in the mirror match for Fire Fist, like Veiler is like amazing right now. So because they could activate their bear effect, they pitch their their spell or their trap, and they lose that, and then you Veiler them. So like that really puts them in a bad position. So
Okay. And the DDV? Why didn't you main deck that? It seems busted.
oh, because I'm not trying to lose to a random Dark World deck or another Fire Fist deck because I wanted to be Windups or Mermail so bad. Like it's not. I mean, to be honest, I did expect a lot more Windups and Mermails, but I mean, I still wasn't gonna risk it. I mean, you have games 2 and 3 for a reason. Like, why risk game 1 playing a possibly dead card? You know. So, and I mean, I had other cards that are good against those 2 decks. I mean, I named the Veilers, the Maxi, and just Fire Fist in general. Just it could really take on anything right now.
So they're your favorite deck for the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, I didn't decide if I was gonna use a deck until like 10:30, like that morning, because like I had built a deck the week before, like the same exact build. Like I had it ready to go, but like I was getting a little worried because I wasn't that experienced with side decking. And I usually don't like using a deck, like if I haven't been side decking or using our locals for a while. So like I was thinking about using windups again because that's probably the deck I know the most right now, windups. But I was like, no, let me just use this deck. I mean, I paid $12. Like, I mean, if I lose, I lose. But it worked out really well. So.
Okay. Am I seeing you in the February 10th tournament?
Yeah. Well, as of now, yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. But I should be there. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna use the same deck or not, but I could tell you the things I might change in the build.
Oh, go ahead. Teach people.
Well, I put the Veiler in because, well, the third Veiler, because as I was saying, like, Veiler is just overall good right now, and it's amazing in the mirror match. So, like, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of Fire Fists in that tournament. Just because people saw our deck list, whether it was mine or George Carver or Fred Douglas. So, a lot of people. And that was the great thing about this tournament, is that we showed that Fire Fists are pretty much legit. Like, we basically just, like, had a really big competitive tournament. When people were doubting Fire Fists at the moment, people were saying they suck, like, they can't do anything without, like, Chicken or Wolfberg. But we pretty much showed, I mean, like, the finals was 2 Fire Fists. Like, when I was in the finals, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like, the deck came out 2 days ago, and, like, it's already, the top 2 spots of a great tournament, so. And then another thing I would change is I will probably take out third MST and put a second Lance because Lance is amazing. Not just protecting your monsters, but in the mirror match is just ridiculous because you could chance to like if you don't have your bears in the mirror match you're basically going to be attacking each other and like it's basically whoever has the Lance will win the battle. Because then you could activate your Tension. Like I was playing the other day on Going Nowhere, and he attacked me. He activates Tension. I activate my Tension. He activates his second one. I activate my second one, and then he lances. So I mean, and I lost from there. So I mean, Lance just really
that's clutch.
Hurts Fire Fist pretty bad. It protects them really good. So I mean, I was going to use 2, but I mean, I was already at 42 cards, and I felt 3 MST was really important, especially going second. Windups with their factory, or like if you know how to read Abysspheres, like you need MST for that, because Abyssphere starts everything in Mermail deck. If you're versing a good player, like they could do anything off of Abyssphere, and like, but if you know how to read it, like you'll catch them every time with MST in your hand in main phase 2. I'd be like, flip Abyssphere. I'd be like, no, I have MST in my hand, like so.
All right. Well, I mean, I want to tell you that you know, I've talked to my teammates about YCS Miami, and we looked at your deck. And one of the things that I did is I did cut that MST for a Lance, and I did take the Maxi out for a Veiler.
Yeah.
It fills my heart with joy to hear you say these things.
Oh yeah, we didn't get to talk about Tour Guide.
Go ahead, talk about Tour Guide.
Tour Guide, that was.
That was the second thing before that I wanted to say about Tour. Like I mean, I don't want to cut you off, but one of the things that I noticed the difference is that like, I mean, Tour Guide with Rabbit is so good. Like the fact that these other decks aren't using that play or don't have that play just means they're missing out on a game shot. And you know, I just want to say, like, I appreciate the fact that you included Tour Guide in this deck.
Yeah, I needed the space. That's why like I couldn't risk playing the other Fire because I mean Tour Guide. I mean, I'll be honest. Like when Tour Guide was at 3, it was amazing. But now at 2, like it's really been like watered down. Like you can only use it pretty much once a match. Like I was gonna include Nihilus Talent like they do in Riot builds, but I didn't want to risk drawing Nihilus Talent. I mean, like sometimes I draw enough normals. Like I can't risk like drawing a Nihilus Talent. And I mean, people say like, oh, Tour Guide like takes up your normal. So I mean, you run Tensu, like you can normal summon twice. Like summon Tour Guide errated first. Even though what I said, summon Tour Guide errated first. Day warning, bomb was Veiler. You know, activate Tensu, summon Bear. You have game right there. Like you're gonna take control of the game. You got rid of their back row, and then you activate Tensu, and then Bear is just gonna help us from there. So, and Tour Guide, I mean, I didn't really use it like to its full extent. Like I never did a Levier Rabbit fight, but I did go into Zen mains a bunch of times because Zen mains is just amazing. Like if you really know how to use Zen mains or like cards with it, like it's just a really good card. And as I was saying, it's a great top deck. Like I mean, if they have Thunder King or something like that, you can immediately draw it out, which is important. Especially, I mean, Thunder King doesn't hurt the deck that much, but like if you really have nothing, like I did that game, like I had Compose, Sangan, Maxi, and Tanky in my hand. And I'm like, I mean, I really have to go minus to get rid of this Thunder King. And I was like, I have to rely on top deck. I did Rabbit to go rid of Thunder King against Friend Wiggler, so I mean, that worked.
I think that we all have a good sense of why you chose to use the cards that you run that distinguish your build from the other builds. Clearly, it worked for you, and you know, congratulations to you for that. But before we wrap things up here, I just want to say, is there anything that I mean, you right now you're in front of all of YouTube, the entire Yu-Gi-Oh community, everyone who's in the tournament, all your haters. Is there anything that you want to say to them? I don't think you have any haters, for the record.
I mean, I have nothing bad to say. Like, I mean, I'm not sure why you would hate on me.
No. That's a joke.
No, I know, but like, I can understand because when I was ranked #1 last format Dueling Network, I used to brag a lot. Like, I was an asshole. So, like, I understand, like, people might have taken that wrong. You know? But, I don't know, it was just a really great time, and like, I was just really happy that, like, I never once had to, like, call an admin or even call you for something. Like, everything went really fine. I was playing for, like, 11 hours, and everything just went smooth, and everyone I faced, I mean, I don't know about the anti-meta guy, but that was round 1, so I mean, everyone else was, you know, they were good players, whether like they weren't playing under their real name or they were. I mean, next time I think they should play under their real name just to show like how many more great players in the tournament, which is, I mean, I'm calling them great, like they're good players, you know? And they show that they're good players because they top events, they win events, they do everything. So why not just show your name, you know?
I understand.
Anyway. So, I mean, at least Mike Steinman showed his name, like that was pretty cool. But then he dropped that.
That wasn't the best example to use. Anyway. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, Giovanni, congratulations again. I'm glad you got first place. I'd love to see you enter the third tournament, um, and you know, just congratulations again. I'm so glad that that you won. I'm so glad you took Fire Fist to the top. I was really hoping that that deck made a big splash at this event, and you know it did. So congratulations again, and thanks for doing this with me. I'll catch you soon.
Alright, man, I'll see you later.
Take it easy.
The great thing about Dueling Network, I mean, I could say from my own experience because it definitely allows more people to become competitive because a lot of people like have want to become competitive in the game, but they didn't have a way to get like expensive cards or even like they didn't want to buy an expensive deck and then oh the deck sucks or maybe just the player sucks and he switches decks like they'll be wasting money a lot. So now with Dueling Network, you could test like rapid, especially Mermails. You definitely test Mermails and see like if you actually go with it or if you like it before you buy like the 3 Megalos and stuff. Or even with me with Fire Fist, like I've been testing the deck for a while, especially like since it's been on here for a while because it was part of OCG. The main reason I got them, I pre-ordered them instead of waiting to the sneakers because I already knew like my build the week before the tournament. You know, like I knew like this build is gonna be good. Like I'm gonna buy these cards now no matter what. Like I'm not gonna regret buying them because I was pretty confident in what I made.
So you're saying that you were able to play on Dueling Network, do well with them, and then you were so confident that now you wanted to buy the cards yourself?
yeah, exactly. I mean, just pre-order them.